Then the rainstorm came over me. And I felt my spirit break. I had lost all of my belief, you see, and realized my mistake. But time threw a prayer to me, and all around me became still. I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Through the rainstorm came sanctuary. And I felt my spirit fly. I had found all my reality. I realized what it takes. 'Cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Well, I tried to say there's nothing wrong, but inside I felt me lying all along. But the message here was plain to see. Believe me. 'Cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Love can help me know my name.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a lovely Monday afternoon. If you like my content, subscribe and push the notification button. Alright, so let's see. let's see, aw, plushie toys. I love plushie toys. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I wanted to mention something. I was actually gonna bring up that I was actually gonna talk about this situation, but I totally forgot. It slipped my mind. Basically, if you know Mama June Shannon from Here Comes Honey Boo Boo back in the mid-late 2000s, and most recently on Wii TV's Mama June from Not to Hot, and then later on like Road to Redemption. Basically, she had a daughter, her eldest daughter, Anna, whose nickname was Chickadee. She was suffering from stage 4 adrenal cancer for the last 10 months. And, yeah, she died over the weekend, basically. She actually died like the very same day that I recorded my last episode. Like, I recorded episode 9 on that day, and then like a couple hours later, like after I've gone to bed, she dies, so I guess it's kind of fitting in a way, but it's really sad. She was only 29. That's way too young, and she had 2 little girls that now are gonna have to grow up without their mom, and it's really, really sad. Like, can't you imagine what they're going through right now? I mean, I could empathize with them on some level, cause I had a cousin that died from cancer about 6-7 years ago, and it was pretty hard on my family, my aunt especially. And hopefully her dying does not end up breaking this family altogether, but you just don't know how they're gonna handle it. So, I mean, Mama June has done a lot of horrific shit, awful shit, especially to her daughter, but I don't know, I would not even, I would not wish this shit on even my worst enemy. Let's put it that way. So yeah. Oh Lord. Alright, just give me a minute. So, in memory of Anna Chickadee Cardwell, I'm gonna dedicate this song to her. Love's Divine by Seal. I hope you guys enjoy it. This song, you know.
Then the rainstorm came over me, and I felt my spirit break. I had lost all of my belief, you see, and realized my mistake. But time threw a prayer to me, and all around me became still. I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Through the rainstorm came sanctuary, and I felt my spirit fly. I had found all of my reality. I realized what it takes, 'cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Well, I tried to say there's nothing wrong, but inside I felt me lying all along. But the message here was plain to see. Believe me. 'Cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me, now I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name. Oh, I don't bend, don't break. Show me how to live and promise me you won't forsake. 'Cause love can help me know my name. Love can help me know my name.
Okay, so we're back. I hope you like this interlude. Alright, just give me a minute. Let's see.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The 5 actors we're about to celebrate have each taken...
Oh yeah, that was Linda Hunt. She won the Oscar the previous year. And I think there's a thing where, like, the previous winner of the Oscar, they're usually the ones that get to present the award for the Oscars of that current year.
a different path on their journey here this evening. I know that none of them think of this evening as their final goal. The final goal, if any, lies within the work and in a private sense of challenge and achievement. To be chosen as the best for a piece of work is a welcome prize. To know that you've done it in a way that's best for you is every bit as sweet. The best performance by an actor in a supporting role. Adolf Caesar in A Soldier's Story. John Malkovich in Places in the Heart.
Oh wow, he looks pretty young here.
Noriyuki Pat Morita in The Karate Kid.
Oh wow, he was actually nominated for the Karate Kid? That's pretty cool.
Haing S. Ngor in The Killing Fields. Ralph Richardson in Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes. My deepest congratulations to the 4 gentlemen with us tonight. God's blessing be with Sir Ralph Richardson.
Oh yeah. I think what happened was, Ralph Richardson, he died like the previous year or something. Maybe earlier that year. Yeah, I think he died the previous year. So, yeah, I guess that's why they're showing like a still photo of him. But I don't know why all the actors, they have this like very saturated blue tinge. Like, that looks weird. I don't like it.
The winner is Haing S. Ngor in The Killing Fields.
God, look how happy he is. Like, can you imagine having to flee a horrific fascist regime like the Khmer Rouge and losing basically almost your entire family and then having to start from practically nothing? And then he gets an Oscar for a movie that was like loosely based on his own personal experience, like, what could be better than that?
This is unbelievable, but so is my entire life. I wish to thank all members of Motion Picture Academy for this great honor. I thank David Putnam, Ron Chofe for giving me this chance to act for the first time in the killing fields. And I share this award to my friend Sam Waterston, Dick Brown, Sri Schumberg, and also Pat Gordon, director casting lady, who found me for this role. And I thank.
Hold up, was that Sam Larson? That was like a very... Hang on. Oh my god! That's really him! He looks so young here. And the guy's like in his 80s now. Holy shit.
Thank. And I thank Warner Brother for helping me tell my story to the world, let the world know what happened in my country. And I thank God, Buddha, that tonight I'm even here. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh my god. Like, that was basically the highlight of his entire fucking life. That was the highlight of his entire life. And for him to be... To die like a horrible, tragic death by being brutally murdered in his own neighborhood, like many years later after that, that's really sad. And, the current rogue regime that was basically that took over Cambodia, and they massacred like a whole shit ton of people, you know, and they basically like disposed of intellectuals, which included doctors, and Haing was a doctor himself, and he couldn't even help his wife, who basically died from childbirth, which is really sad. And he had a locket with her picture on it, and he actually died trying to stop like a bunch of robbers, you know, thieves from getting that locket. You know, it's a very, very sad story. But I mean, he made something positive of his life, and you know, what more could you ask for? He made something positive of his life. Let's see. Warning! The following segment contains mentions of suicidal ideation and discussion of mental illness.
The secret actress Patty Duke kept for years. Which of her lovers is the real father of Lord of the Rings star Sean Astin, the son she had out of wedlock?
My 4 dads. Anytime I want to, I can call any of them on the phone. All 4 of them.
When 2020 returns, after this from our ABC stations. 2020 continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
Actress Patty Duke has made no secret of her desperate battle with mental illness and even suicide attempts. But tonight...
Yeah, so... Basically, there was this actress named Patty Duke. For those of you that don't know, she is the mother of Sean Astin, who was in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And he was also in that football movie Rudy. And I think he was also in the Goonies. And she had a very public and well-documented battle with mental illness. And she got diagnosed with bipolar disorder in the early 80s, which back then it was called manic depression. They don't call it manic depression anymore. And now you actually have a variety of treatments for bipolar that helps, sufferers live healthy, normal lives and allows them to function better in their day-to-day lives. So, yeah, fucking crazy. Yup. I mean, Sean Astin seems to be a pretty decent guy, and it's a credit to Patty that she raised those boys so well, even through her illness. It's really fucking insane.
For the first time, you will hear from two people who suffered through her ordeal as well. They are her two sons, Sean Astin, who stars in the epic Lord of the Rings movies, and his younger brother, Mackenzie. Maybe it's not surprising that both are actors, but it is remarkable that they are also loyal and loving sons after what they've lived through as children. You'll hear their intimate family story now, as mother and sons talk candidly with Deborah Roberts about surviving, forgiving, and moving forward together.
I wonder if we'll ever be put into songs or tales. What?
Millions got to know him as Samwise, the loyal sidekick of Frodo.
Yeah, that was his name, Samwise. I forgot for a minute, sorry. I basically drew a blank there. My fault.
In the Lord of the Rings blockbuster trilogy.
You've left out one of the chief characters. Samwise the Brave.
Sean Astin took on the heart and soul of the story and stole the show.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you. But I can carry you. Come on!
It's a great role to play because Sam is the essence of loyalty and bravery and honesty and decency and goodness.
Their characteristics common to the 33-year-old actor's most celebrated parts, like Rudy, the determined underdog who persevered against all odds. In the same stout-hearted role he often took on in his own family drama.
For a long time,
So yeah, that was Rudy. And speaking of Elijah Wood, I actually liked him in the Legend of Spiral series. And honestly, if they're not gonna do another installment of the Reunited trilogy, I would love to see them bring back the Legend of Spiral. Because, at least there'll be some story there, and maybe they would be more interested in doing the Legend of Spiral. Or hell, maybe they should have stuck with the Skylander series, because at least while the Skylander series was going on, they were invested in Spiral. Now he's nothing more than stupid cash grab cameo in Crash Bandicoot games. and it pisses me off so badly. I don't know. I'm probably gonna die before there's ever another Spiral game ever again. But, you know, it sucks. Sorry. Rant over. Let's carry on.
I felt like I was that I was the Secretary General of the United Nations of our sort of Ungapachi mismatched sort of family.
Mom of that family is show business legend Patty.
Oh my god. Secretary General, holy shit.
Duke. As a child actress, she made an indelible impression as the blind, deaf, and mute Helen Keller in the movie The Miracle Worker. At 16, she became the youngest actress up until that time to win an Oscar.
Oh yeah, and then her record eventually got broken by another actress. Oh crap. Who was it? Oh crap. I don't remember in the moment, but I know her record got eventually broken by another actress. Like many years later in the 90s. So yeah. Don't worry. I'll probably remember it later at the most inopportune time, in the most random in the most random time possible. Like I'll talk about something else, and all of a sudden I'll literally remember it. I'm like, damn it! Why didn't I think of it sooner? Shit. You know, it's like, ugh, fuck. Anyways, yeah. So she was like 16 years old when she won an Oscar, and oh my god, like the way she was treated by her managers. It was horrible. Really, really awful. Like, they were like really abusive to her, and they basically encouraged her to start drinking like a very young age, and I think they're one of the main reasons why she became so messed up later in life. Sorry about that. Let's continue.
Then came the Patty Duke Show. Sean's dad, John Astin, is a television icon too, best known as Gomez, the patriarch of a family of a very different sort. Younger brother Mackenzie was born when Sean was 2 and would spend his adolescence learning the facts of life. As you'll see, life
Cheeky.
in this Hollywood household was hardly a sitcom, but nothing ever got in the way of this mother's pride.
You're looking at Sean now not only as a son, but as an accomplished actor. I mean,
as a great big movie star.
What is it like, though, seeing him as such an amazing, hot actor?
When he first comes on the screen, it's the mother who's proud. You know, it says, oh, I did that. But then I get involved in his performances, and he moves me. But the most important thing is that he is, at the core, the decent, generous, loving, respectful man that I hoped he would be.
Wait, hang on. What the hell is Sean Astin holding? I know Patty's holding like a glass of water, but I can't tell what he's holding. He's holding like a cup of something that I think there's ice in it. There's like ice in that cup, but I can't tell what the hell he's drinking. Ah, crap. Hang on a sec.
That may be the biggest miracle of all, since Sean and his brother Mac grew up in the shadow of their mother's undiagnosed mental illness. Patty Duke first spoke to 2020's Hugh Downs in 1989 about her manic depression and suicide attempts.
I did it a lot of times. And usually came after some sort of argument that I had begun either with my husband or children. And my behavior would be so angry and so vicious that I then couldn't live with that guilt. And they were better off without me.
Now, 15 years later, she still talks about the frightening moments that led to that regret.
When Mom's behavior would start to get a little bizarre, say in a manic phase, it was going to get loud and it was going to get mean, and I would go to the part of them that I could make suffer the most.
Though she's been brutally honest about her mental illness before, Patty Duke's children are now talking for the first time about how it was to be in their shoes.
Yeah, there was plenty of stuff that was mortifying, horrifying. And to be exposed to something that is not in control is as scary as, being in battle.
But it was Sean, the older...
Yeah, I can't imagine how it must be for them to go through that. Like, oh my god.
more resilient child who was most often the target of their mother's manic rages, though today he recalls the stories with humor.
I was working on this model airplane, this incredible wingspan, it was a glider. I remember cleaning my room up so everything was perfect, and I could hear the sound of Mom sort of going through the hallways like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And she came in.
Holy shit! Wow.
In with this glass of water and looked around the room, instantly surveyed that I cleaned it, was perfect. And she's like, "Oh, great, you're effing perfect, aren't you?" And throws the water in my face. And then she destroyed the model.
Oh, God.
I never know when you're telling the truth anymore.
And as if home wasn't nightmarish enough, Patty and Sean played mother and son in a fictional version of an even more violent life. It was his acting debut. He was...
Yeah. I will never understand what the hell, why anyone thought it was a good idea for him to be in that kind of movie. Especially when his home life at that time was so turbulent. Like, you had to be a pretty strong person to be able to endure that kind of shit. Like, my god. Like, I look at that and I'm like, what the hell were they thinking, dude? Shit.
Now repeating the same sort of childhood his mother had endured, one marred by mental illness. Patty's alcoholic father deserted the family when she was 7, and her mother struggled with undiagnosed depression. When Patty grew up and gave birth to Sean in 1971, she vowed not to pass on the pain.
We made silent deals with each other about what we'd do for each other.
What kind of deals?
That I'd always tell him the truth. That I would do my best never to hurt him the way I had been hurt. And look what happened. Years later, because of that illness, I did exactly what I had promised that little baby in the bassinet I would never do.
Patty was finally diagnosed with manic depression at age...
Oh my god, that is so sad. Holy shit, dude. Like, you can see the emotion in her eyes as she recalls that moment. Like, her voice breaking, that sadness in her eyes, like, I promised that kid that I wasn't gonna hurt him the same way I've been hurt by my parents. when I was growing up, and I end up allowing history to basically repeat itself. Like, it's like she feels guilty for perpetuating that generational trauma, so to speak.
35, the same year she and John Astin separated. Since then, she's been successfully treated with lithium. And with her tell-all biography and television appearances in the late 80s, Patty began the long process of making amends.
The toughest was feeling that I could ever be trusted again, specifically by my children, for having attempted suicide in their presence. These children went through utter hell.
Today, it's hard to imagine how mother and sons have any relationship at all. But Sean and Mac were 11 and 9 when their mother was diagnosed, so they've also lived through the years of recovery and reconciliation. And both insist that the bad times made them stronger.
Yeah, there were times that were hard. There were times that were where there was fear. But I almost felt as though at all the really scary moments that you have as a kid, I almost felt this sense of calm and peace at those moments.
Calm and peace when there was turmoil going on in the house?
Yeah, a little bit. It was almost like she was testing me to see if I would break.
How does a child come out of an experience like that, though, so centered? I mean, there are children who are just ripped, they're people, adults, who are ripped apart by childhood memories.
Well, that's my point. This woman is a powerful, strong woman who wanted us to grow up independent and confident and strong. And that was 99% of the time. And 1% of the time
there was also a father who dedicated himself to diffusing situations and reassuring these young men.
So he pulled it all together.
Well, no, there's something in me. I take credit for this. I take credit for my strength and my maturity at that age, because you know what? My proclivity was to trust that everything was going to be all right.
But when
So yeah, she also had a husband that basically raised those kids. He was actually the father of one of her sons. So he was there to basically be the glue that held everything together. You know, when things got really, really crazy. And he was there to basically help keep her under control as much as possible. So, it was these two people that contributed greatly to how Sean and Mackenzie ultimately turned out as adults.
Sean was 14, another betrayal. His mother revealed that John Astin was not his biological father. He'd actually been born to a single Patty Duke amid scandal. Tabloid headlines claimed the unmarried 23-year-old star was carrying the love child of her 17-year-old boyfriend, Desi Arnaz Jr., and that his mother, Lucille Ball, was aghast.
It was a horror.
Gee, thanks.
But that was a stigma at that point.
It was a stigma.
And your fame didn't shield you from the shame and the embarrassment?
No. Remember, I was little Patty Duke, who came into the living rooms on Wednesday nights.
Who was sweet and chaste.
That's right.
So when a stranger named Michael Tell came to sublet her apartment and offered to marry the pregnant Patty Duke, she agreed.
Within 3 hours, we were in Las Vegas in front of a preacher.
The marriage to Michael Tell lasted 13 days and ended long before Sean was born. But Tell would resurface when Sean was 26. Someone suggested that his biological father...
Yeah. You can tell that Michael Tell... I'm sorry. I don't care what Patty Duke believed, but... that guy... that's Sean's dad. He is like the spitting image of Sean. The same smile, the same eyes. That's his dad. Desi Arnaz Jr. is not Sean's dad. I don't know why Patty Duke believes it. so strongly, cause it's really, I don't know why she believed that, but, you know, DNA doesn't fucking lie, you know. Michael Tell is his biological father, plain and simple. Also, you gotta remember that during that time period when Sean was born, Patty Duke was she was basically in the throes of her mental illness. Like, when she would get, like, really manic and crazy, she would sleep around with a whole bunch of people and wind up in bed with them, and she would wake up the next morning and didn't know who the hell the guy was that was lying in bed next to her. And, you know, cause she was having so many flings and one-night stands with guys, you know, she didn't really know who the father was. And even after the DNA test basically proved that Michael Tell was the dad, you know, she still believed, probably to her dying day, that Desi Arnaz Jr. was the father of her kid, her older son. But, I don't know, maybe that relationship with Michael Tell wasn't very good. I mean, the marriage only lasted like 2 weeks, so must have been falling apart like very quickly. So maybe she doesn't like to remember that. She would rather have pretended that, you know, Desi Jr. was the father for a reason. Like, I can speculate all I want, but I don't think anyone's ever gonna truly know.
Father wasn't Desi Arnaz Jr. either, but a man he'd never even heard about. So Sean set out to find his own truth, this time based on blood tests, which would offer a surprising outcome.
You know, Desi Arnaz Jr. loves me, and I love him. We are so close. Science tells me, to a genetic and blood standard, that he's not my biological father. Science tells me that Mike Tell is. He's a good man. I love him. He loves me.
In fact, Sean Astin calls 4 people dad.
I can call any of them on the phone anytime I want to. Anytime I want to. All 4 of them. John, Desi, Mike, or Papa Mike, her husband. My 4 dads. The truth.
Oh yeah, that was the guy that she ended up. That was the last husband that Patty Duke married, and that was the guy she was married to until she died. So, and I think that was the marriage that ended up lasting the longest. And I think they really did love each other, so at least she found some peace and happiness in the end, so.
Shall set me free. It did. It was an incredible touchstone for me.
But not for his mother, who continues to believe that Desi Arnaz Jr. is Sean's biological father, in spite of the blood tests. So mother and son have agreed to disagree, and somehow their complex family seems closer than ever.
And that's basically it. Oh wow, new episode from Dreading. I guess we could go and see it. Why the hell not?
Chill, the feeling you get when you're on budget and on Cloud9. Get new floors during Empire Today's gigantic 75% off sale. That's carpet, hardwood, vinyl, and laminate 75% off. Schedule today to get new floors installed by Christmas, guaranteed. Or they're free.
The following is an excerpt from the article Devastating Consequences, Professional and Personal, for Cops Who Rat About Misconduct by Gina Barton, Brett Murphy, and Daphne Durrett. To many in law enforcement, snitching against another cop is a betrayal that can't go unpunished. Those who enforce this code, the blue wall of silence, have stuffed dead rats and feces into fellow officers' lockers. They've issued death threats, ignored requests for backup, threatened family members, and planted drugs on the officers who reported misconduct. Department leaders often condone these reprisals or pile on by launching internal investigations to discredit those who expose wrongdoing. Whistleblowers have been fired, jailed, and in at least one case, forcibly admitted to a psychiatric ward. Departments across the country have adopted an unofficial system of retaliation that allows misconduct to persist and helps police officers avoid accountability. In South Carolina, an officer leaked the fact that fellow deputies beat a prisoner who later died in custody. In Florida, a detective reported a captain who had impregnated a 16-year-old girl and then paid for the abortion. In Oregon, a sergeant complained that a coworker bragged about killing an unarmed teenager. After speaking out, all of them were forced out of their departments and were branded traitors by their fellow officers.
Oh my god, that is insane. Holy shit. I mean, I know that's basically a recurring problem in law enforcement, but damn, like, wow, you know, it's so amazing how prevalent, widespread it really is. Like, it's a wonder that regular people don't really trust cops anymore, because they're so willing to abuse their power like that. It's crazy.
Whistleblowing is a life sentence, said Shannon Spalding, a former undercover narcotics officer detective in Chicago, who exposed a corruption scheme that has led to dozens of overturned convictions. I'm an officer without a department. I lost my house, I lost my marriage. It affects you in ways you would never imagine. The blue wall of silence, as it's called, has been noted across the country, and it has been used to cover up heinous actions. But notably, this tendency to look the other way has been used to allow some officers to behave badly without consequence. In previous videos, we have covered officers who have had a history of drunk and disorderly conduct that's swept under the rug by their superiors, who have used their badge as a literal get-out-of-jail-free card, and who, when confronted by other officers who are unwilling to uphold that kind of behavior, resort to violence. When your job affords you to go without consequence for so long, you feel untouchable. The idea that someone else would take issue with what you're doing, even if what you are doing is illegal, now becomes an offense in and of itself. Because how dare they not know that you are better than they are? How dare they not know that you are allowed to break the law? And most importantly, how dare they think that you are anything like them? Today, we are going to be reviewing a case in which an officer who had been largely allowed to break the law with impunity is confronted by officers who refuse to let her off the hook, and the end result is explosive.
Please don't come at me.
Wow, where does he get some of that footage? I would love to know.
It matters. I mean, does it not? Were you not coming from there?
Are you conducting a criminal investigation towards me?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay. So am I having any point of,
Is there a question in there? So, while...
Wait! Oh, battery. So I just want to know, who said that when you have PC for battery? Who said it? Because you're gonna fucking catch a charge for this. Okay. So who said that I fucking battered them? Huh? Who, sir? Sir, tell me. Who said that I battered them? You can play it right there on 10/29.
Oh wow, this doesn't only happened like last November. That's interesting.
Who did I batter? I just want to know. And my fucking car. Go ahead. You're gonna fucking catch a charge for this. My fucking car. I didn't do anything. And you're gonna fucking tell me that I battered someone. Just wait. Just wait.
Are you good?
Just wait, bro. Just wait, bro. I battered someone. I didn't fucking touch anyone.
More. But shortly thereafter, it would appear that Sarah began to respect the rules of the road a bit more, with her traffic infractions being a thing of the past. If you were to look at her record, you would have thought that the years of fines had caught up with her, that she had learned to respect the law and other people on the road. But you would be wrong, because Sarah had simply become a police officer. 2 years after becoming an officer, on November 15th, 2022, a call would come into emergency services that there had been a non-fatal car crash over by Eastern Anderson Street and South Bumby Avenue in Orlando, Florida. No one was injured in the accident. However, one of the people involved had become belligerent afterwards, accusing the other party of causing the accident. That person was Sarah. After the accident, she got out of her car and identified herself to the other party as an off-duty police officer and attempted to fight him. She opened his car door at one point, made repeated threats of physical force, and when he tried to close the door, she held it open, keeping him in the vehicle. Eventually, he attempted to leave the car, wanting to get away from the drunk woman, but she pushed him back in, again hindering his ability to leave the area, which, in Florida, counts as kidnapping, assault, and battery. It should also be noted that Sarah repeatedly reached towards her waistband during this interaction, as if reaching for a hidden weapon. The other party asked if she had a gun or any weapon on her person, to which she said no, but her continued reaching put him in fear for his life. Thankfully, another person had witnessed the accident and pulled over, wanting to provide a third-party account of what had happened, should insurance or police become involved. The following is the body cam footage as provided by 50 Patrol.
Orlando.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
That was an interesting commercial. I might check it out. Maybe. I don't know. I love that. In the intro, there's a little jazzy music. That's funny.
Hi. So, I'll talk to you separately.
Yes, okay.
There is one person that was flagging me down for this accident who's saying she's law enforcement and she appears intoxicated. And there was some sort of 22 before I got here, but as I was driving past, she was up against this SUV. And the officer, I don't know if she could be armed.
The person speaking is a community service officer, not a police officer. A community service officer provides customer service to citizens, enforces certain city codes, and other non-criminal police-related duties, as well as provides patrol and community outreach, non-EMS on-site and in-home assistance to citizens, responds to non-criminal complaints, building checks, and more. Notably, they do not carry weapons on them, and in this instance, would simply be assisting in the aftermath of an accident. However, because Sarah is a police officer, had access to weapons, and has shown herself to be impaired, an off-duty officer would have been called to assist the CSO, should things continue to escalate. Moreover, this officer states it was Sarah who flagged them down. Sarah is the one cause of this accident and is acting in an impaired manner, and should she be found at fault, her job could be on the line. So why would she go out of her way to draw police attention to this accident? The answer is,
there's something I am curious about. What kind of video editing software does Dreading use? Cause I would love to do like edits where I would take screenshots and then I would like to take like screenshots in the video editing program and then just talk over the screenshot. I think it'll be really cool. I'm gonna see how I can do that.
is because she thinks she is in the right. At the present moment, she believes that everything that she's done this night will be justified or at worst, swept under the rug. She identified herself to the CSO as an officer, which could be seen as her asserting dominance over the other officers, and she believes that her word as an officer will be taken as gospel over any evidence against her.
Fucking asshole. Okay, anything on you, guns or anything?
No, not at all.
Put yourself in Sarah's shoes for a moment. You caused a car accident. You responded to the car accident poorly, and you've been drinking. Would you feel comfortable enough to then approach the responding officer loudly swearing about the other party involved in the crash? Most likely not. Sarah is trying to establish a sense of familiarity between herself and this officer.
No way. This guy posted this video only 2 hours ago, and already it has like 12,000 views. I can't even get that number of views in that amount of time, but then again, I'm just like a newer YouTube commentator, creator, so maybe I'll get there eventually if I just keep on working hard and work to perfect my craft. Maybe I'll get there eventually. Who knows? Also, what I really like about this guy is that he has the kind of voice where even if there were no visuals, even though the visuals do help, but even if there weren't any visuals in the video, you can listen to him for hours on end and you would never get bored, cause his voice is the type of voice that just keeps you captivated no matter what. So yeah.
Given the fact that they have the same job, she is attempting to build a sense of camaraderie between the two, with the idea that the responding officer will roll her eyes at the whole ordeal and give her a pass. According to the corresponding police report written by this officer, Sarah has handed her an expired driver's license, along with her police identification card, which is another example of her trying to establish a connection to this other officer. It's also ironic, because having seen her traffic history, she very rarely drives with an active license. To be clear, she has an active license. She is allowed to drive, but she doesn't carry it on her for some reason. Something about obeying traffic laws seems to really bother her.
Where's your actual ID? Yeah, because that one you don't need anymore. You can get rid of that. I need the other ID.
Sorry.
You're good.
That one.
Thank you. I'm going to take that back. Okay, go ahead and have a seat for me really fast.
As I mentioned, she had a normal, valid ID on her. She just didn't want to provide it for some reason. The other officer also rejected her police identification card, and is very obviously not giving her the response she was looking for. Sarah was hoping that she would be treated as a peer. At most, she thought she'd be taken to the side and told that she was behaving poorly, but they would drop her off at home and tow her car for her.
Just take a seat.
Yeah, I don't think so, Sarah. You're about to get wrecked. Ooh, maybe I'll check out this Chow 5-0 Patrol. Thanks, Dreading. I'll probably check these people out. Sorry. Oh, piss off. Stupid scammers. Bunch of assholes. Yep, it's a bit terrifying there are cops out there like her. Yeah, no shit. Man, policing in this country needs reform so badly. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Of course it does. Nobody wants to do it.
To reviewing children's cartoons. Now, to some of you puritanical normies out there, that might sound pathetic. But once you consider that he used to be a brony channel, suddenly the SpongeBob reviews don't seem so bad. Even if you've never heard of him before, chances are you've encountered one of his famous opinions. He recently got memed on a bit because he criticized Turning Red for its lack of 9/11.
This film takes place less than a year after the September 11th terrorist attacks. I bring this up because it radically altered the culture of the time, in ways that make this movie feel exceptionally ignorant of the time.
Much like Jesus, they hated him because he told the truth. Because you know what? I unironically agree with him. I thought Turning Red was a shitty, boring movie, and the mere mention of 9/11 would have at least made me laugh. If the mysterious Mr. Enter made Turning Red, I sincerely would have enjoyed the film more. This realization reminded me that somebody sent me a copy of Mr. Enter's children's novel during an episode of Monkey's Mailbag a few years ago.
Is this Mr. Enter's book? Growing Around Party Panic by Mr. Enter? Are you serious? I thought that it didn't get funded. Or was that a cartoon? The art doesn't fit.
Okay, let's see what the hell is going on.
Art is blurry and pixelated, the artwork is as generic as possible, and the description on the back literally has typos. And she makes sure respects everyone else's choice of pets, whether they be a tiny little dog or a huge elephant. Now, I get that this book is about an 8-year-old girl, but does it need to look like it was designed by one? Mr. Enter saw this 144p quality artwork and thought it was acceptable to sell for money. It's going to be difficult when the...
Oh, wow. At the very least, he should just double check the paragraph and make sure it didn't have any typos, and so you could proofread it. Wow.
Mayor seems to have it out for her in this enticing adventure where the people are growing around. What the fuck does that even mean?
Also, what kind of title is growing around? What the hell is that? Seriously.
Growing around is not a phrase, and it's never even used in the book. I get that he thinks it's a clever name, but it's literally meaningless. Anyway, that's enough bitching about the cover. Let's dive into the degenerate hellscape that is Growing Around. Chapter 2. World building, lore, and lack of creativity. There's a decent
this is gonna be fun.
chance you have no idea what this book is or what it's about, so allow me to enlighten you. The basic premise is Growing Around takes place in a fantasy world where children are in charge and the adults are forced into servitude. Essentially, this is a utopia world for the kids and a terrifying dystopia for the adults. Think about it this way. In this world, when you're born, you are the king. You can do whatever you want, and your parents have to obey your every command. But once you turn 18 and have kids, you become enslaved by your children. When you're...
Oh my god, that sounds like a total nightmare. Also, did Mr. Enter ever read Lord of Flies? I mean, that story is terribly disturbing. Like, what the hell?
Your child turns 4 years old, they can start driving a car. Meanwhile, you have to go to a re-education camp like what they're doing in China to those Uyghur Muslims.
What? I'm sorry, what?
You become enslaved by your children. When your child turns 4 years old, they can start driving a car. Meanwhile, you have to go to a re-education camp like what they're doing in China to those Uyghur Muslims. Which begs the question, why would anyone in this world ever procreate? You know—
That's a great question. This is really fucking disturbing.
Know for a fact that your children will enslave and torture you. So in a way, this is voluntary slavery. Maybe in this world, this is God's punishment for if you have unprotected sex. Even if you're married, in this world, God hates procreation no matter what. And if you have sex and you come inside somebody, he wants you to be enslaved for the rest of your life. But the big question is—
Oh my god. This is a nightmare. This is a dystopia. I don't want to live in that universe. I don't want to live in a world where I'm going to be enslaved by freaking kids. Hell no.
does this only happen to the parents, or do all adults become enslaved? If they don't have any kids, who is there to enslave them? Well, we never see any actual adults in the story. The world is full of children who work all the jobs and drive around in bumper cars, and the only adults we ever hear about are the parents who are bussed off to the concentration camp every day. Has there been some sort of mass genocide of all adults who don't have children? I can only assume so. And now you
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. All the adults that decided they didn't want kids, they were basically just brutally murdered by the fascist child operated regime.
probably think I'm full of shit and the parents aren't actually getting tortured. And surely Mr. Enter didn't write a children's book about re-education camps. Well, fuck you, you're wrong. At this school, the main emphasis is on cultivating imagination and creativity, and there are punishments for failure. So, if you do a finger painting, and this 6-year-old teacher doesn't like the painting you did, the appropriate punishment is they pull out a paintball gun and they can hunt you through the school. These aren't Nerf guns or even laser tag. These are goddamn paintballs. Those can leave giant bruises on your bare skin. And the—
Oh my god. What kind of childhood did Mr. Enter have? What kind of demented shit is this? This is so demented! My lord! And my god! This is insane! Holy shit! I mean, I would never ever write a children's book because that's just not my thing, but I would never write something so disturbed and abhorrent as this. My god.
Adults don't even get safety goggles. This shit is fucking horrific. And here lies the biggest problem with the book: a lack of creativity. This is supposed to be a world of childlike wonder and imagination.
If you had told me that this book was written by somebody that basically wanted to punish women for not procreating and contributing to the continuance of our species, I probably would have believed you. This is written by a fucking grown-ass man who has no idea what being a kid entails. Like, holy shit.
To the point where all adults are forced at literal gunpoint to retain as much creativity as possible. And yet, The world of the book is so embarrassingly lacking in actual creativity that Mr. Enter deserves a firing squad of paintballers. For example, the only two countries we learn about in the book are called the United Kidsdom and Americandy. That's right, not even the United States of Americandy, just Americandy. Considering that America consists of two continents, North and South America, I guess the implication here is that all 35 countries of the American supercontinent have united as one. But seriously, in terms of creativity, the best Mr. Enter could come up with when creating a childlike parody of America was Americandy. It's so fucking lazy and creatively bankrupt. The currency of this world isn't cash money. It's a parody of Pokemon called Ginomon cards.
What? Ginomon cards?
For example, the main character Sally goes shopping for toys and she has to pay 247 Ginomon cards at the register. Now here's where it gets dumb. It is canon that some cards are more rare than others. One of the characters is shocked that Sally has a Lightning Phoenix card with golden text. So logically, that rare card should be more valuable than a common card, right? Well, no. All of the cards are worth the exact same amount. If she pays with the rare Lightning Phoenix card, she still has to pay the other 246 cards. It would be like if the $100 bill, the $20 bill, and the $5 bill were all just worth $1. What's even the fucking point of rare cards existing if they're all of equal value? And
oh my god. That doesn't make any logical sense. My god, like, I'm terrible at math, but even I know that really doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Like, holy shit.
And here's where it gets straight up retarded. In addition to Ginomon cards, there is also a franchise called Snatchamon. There are two separate parodies of Pokemon in this same universe for literally no reason.
Why? Just pick one. Just pick Ginomon. It sounds better than Snatchamon. Shit.
Did Mr. Enter forget that he called them Ginomon and changed the name to Snatchamon halfway through? And back to my point about the lack of creativity, the only Snatchamon we learn about is called Magiderp. Wow. A parody of Magikarp, but you replaced Carp with Derp. Get it? Because Magikarp is fucking retarded. 5 pages.
Oh my god. Dear Lord.
And then the book abruptly ends halfway through the party with a to be continued. And as far as I know, it never was continued. The real plot of the story is the relationship between Sally and her mother, who she severely abuses in ways that are not even comedic. It's extremely clear that Sally not only has no respect for her parents, but she might maliciously hate them. She refers to her parents by their names, Linda and Robert, so I assumed that was the custom in the growing around world. But no, other characters use the words mom and dad. Sally is the only one who calls her parents by their real names. When Linda gets bad grades on her report card, Sally wants to punish her mother by forcing her to eat muddy roller skates.
Ew! What the hell?
Eating mud is one thing, but a roller skate isn't even fucking edible. And then when her mom is leaving the room, she trips over the ball pit, and Sally takes great pleasure in watching her mom fall and get hurt. Now, in case you were wondering how bad of a grade Linda received in order to warrant a punishment as cruel as eating a roller skate, well, she got a D- in laser tag class. That's pretty bad, right? But then, it's later revealed that there is such a thing as a Z- grade. So in this universe, the grading scale doesn't end at F.
Oh my god. This girl is a literal grade A psychopath. Holy shit. She's a little psychopath. She takes pleasure in tormenting her poor mom. My god. C minus? What the hell is a C minus anyway?
F. It goes all the way down to Z, in which case, a D minus would be equivalent to a B. She's forcing her mom to eat muddy roller skates for getting a fucking B in laser tag. This character is insane. Meanwhile, Sally claims the four main food groups are chocolatey, fruity, salty, and cheesy. Her mom begs her for any semblance of nutrition, desperately trying to add vegetables to their meals, and Sally denies her. She can either eat junk food or roller skates. There are no other options. Nobody in the book is described as being morbidly obese, and the generic character models show everyone being in shape. But the only food in this world is candy. Basically, the entire book is just Sally torturing her mother. She forces her to go to the re-education camp wearing embarrassing outfits. She helps her teacher hunt her down with paintball guns during a parent-teacher conference. I'm starting to think Mr. Enter might not like his own mother very much and used this story as a fantasy way of coping with his hatred.
Yeah, no shit. That's the impression I'm getting too. Mr. Enter, I don't say this very often to anybody, but you need therapy and Jesus. Good day, sir, and I am done with this stupid video. Alright, one more video and we are done for tonight. Alright, so there's this guy named Daniel Larson and he's an autistic guy who's very big on TikTok. And basically he's always getting kicked out of like bathrooms and public establishments for basically acting out and just being a public nuisance in general. And now, in the most recent incident, he basically causes a major scene at all places Olive Garden.
Find your rhythm with TD Clear, a whole new take on credit with no interest and a simple monthly fee.
It seems like a month can't go by without Daniel Larson becoming a disturbance at a local Denver, Colorado establishment. Last month he went into that Panera Bread and ended up having one of the biggest freakouts I've ever seen in my life, calling the workers the N-word and everything, punching himself in the face over and over again. And just like the thumbnail says, this man needs to be stopped. Usually I wait to the end of the video to give the moral of the story, but right now I just want to come out and say that this dude should be behind bars.
Is leaking leaking personal information of me on the internet.
My employees don't have personal
Footage from like a few years back. Daniel really believes like hook, line, and sinker that.
Yes.
Okay, do people take pictures of celebrities, right?
Right, but you were back in back.
Yes.
Printing off documents.
I was?
You said that and it's on video.
That I was printing off documents?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna ask you to come over here actually. Over here. We've been very nice. Like, that's what I'm gonna tell you. You're not filming me, correct?
I am legally required to.
No, you can actually just leave now.
I don't have to leave. The FBI is here. I have fucking photos.
Okay, sir, this is what I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna calm down right now. You're gonna stop filming me, or I'm gonna call the police and they're gonna remove you from here. I know that's what you want. I know that's what you're famous for on TikTok, but we are not doing this. You're gonna curse at me again, or
you know, Daniel, instead of being a total dumbass making a massive ass of himself in a public establishment, maybe what you should do is calm the hell down and have a delicious plate of pasta and breadsticks. Maybe they'll help you get your act here. Maybe.
You're going to leave.
I never cursed.
Okay, sir. What I'm going to tell you right now is you're going to stop filming and you're going to leave, or I'm going to call the police right now.
Go ahead and call the police.
Thank you. I will. We're done.
I just got sent pictures and photos of Grace being assaulted. I'm not gonna just sit here and call those photos fake. I got sent them from the fucking FBI.
I'm going to ask you again not to curse. There's children in here. I'm going to ask you again.
I have photos.
I need you to lower your voice.
So now Daniel is basically getting in the face of these workers, telling them that they're under citizen's arrest. You know, Daniel's decided that he's finally cracked the code. If the police aren't going to help him, if the FBI's not going to help him, well then Daniel's going to do it himself. All you Olive Garden workers, you know, basically stand down, wait till the police get here, because Daniel's got some words.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he's also super obsessed with this lady named Grace Vanderwall, and he's been obsessed with her for years. And when I mean years, I mean years. So yeah.
For you. And I know I've already talked about just how much it's got to suck to be one of these workers, but also imagine just how mind-blowing it is too. You have this guy coming in here claiming that, hey, you and all your staff, stop leaking my naked photos. like that's something I guarantee you these people never in their wildest dreams thought they'd be accused of on this day. Yet here comes Daniel Larson to blow everybody's minds. The fact that he said fuck on 2 occasions and then had the nerve to tell this lady, I'm not even cursing, ma'am. Daniel always thinks he's in the right. He thinks that anything that happens is just undeniable proof that he can show to the police or anyone he's trying to prove wrong, and they'll just believe it. It's dangerous how gullible this guy is.
I just got word from the FBI and Rick Yorn, LBI Entertainment, that you are being sued.
What would I give to eat at Olive Garden right now and have delicious pasta with breadsticks and maybe some delicious dessert? Daddy doesn't like Olive Garden cause we had like a bad experience the last time we went there, cause we had like lunch at Olive Garden one time. And after we ate at Olive Garden, Daddy got sick, and he just suspected that one of the servers probably like spit his food or something because they got his order wrong, and he complained, and he's never wanted to go back to Olive Garden ever again ever since. But, you know, maybe one of these days. I mean, I like pasta. That's my thing. I like pasta. I like breadsticks, especially the ones from Olive Garden. They're so delicate. Alright everybody, so that's it for tonight. If you like this video, subscribe and push the notification for more content. This is Phoenix Girl signing off, and I'll see you next time.